set. And then you read the description, it's like, Fox and Pepper discuss. And I'm like, oh, we're talking.
We gotta talk.
So we do, obviously we have instruments on stage. We're going to do some songs, probably like 3 or 4-ish throughout the course of our hour here. We're going to talk a little bit about convention experiences, a bit about what it's like to travel around and do music.
Basically just all the insane stuff we've done the last couple of years.
And we will do some Q&A. And the good news is this is a small enough room, and there's few enough of you that, like, one, we're not plugging in instruments. We have this, but I'm going to pull back and I'm actually singing. But this will be a truly unplugged set/discussion with us. Do you want to open with an actual song? Because I did not think about what song we should actually do.
Yeah, which one do you want to do?
I want to do All Star again. Okay, can I talk about this version of All Star?
Yeah.
Oh,
like tell them the origin of it.
Like, do a small hand gesture if you were at the All Ages show yesterday. That's not it. What if you were at the AD show yesterday? Okay, so at least half of you heard this version of All Star that we like to do a lot. It's from it's a cover. For some reason, when I do covers, I tend to do covers of covers. This one was used in the film Shrek Retold, which is where a bunch of internet people took, like, literally, probably, I don't know if it's over 100, but pretty close, animators took between 20 seconds and a minute or so and animated a very small portion of the Shrek movie, and then they stitched them all together to tell it does get through the entire plot of Shrek, but the things you'll see on screen are kind of mostly just, like, to not swear, crap posts. But it's an hour and a half long. It goes through every single scene, and every song is redone as a cool cover. They do I'm a Believer, but, like, super vapor-wavy. Ooh, that was a cool note. We're just going to end on that.
They also think, I don't know if it was the same person that organized it, but there's also a version of that of Courage the Cowardly Dog. There's an episode on YouTube of just various animators on the Freaky Fred episode.
It's like EMI, it's like a company, it's like 3 I's. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace. Down in my mind. But it's all synths, and I like that. But this is the version they did of All Star, where they make it kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, hipstery, hippie jam band version of it. I'm gonna sing real gentle. Also, I'm gonna half and half, like, the distance between my guitar and this. That's the perfect thing! Oh, I know what I do. Here's how I make my guitar louder, Fox. I remove my training weights.
Oh boy.
Hey, here's a discussion. So for like 3 years I was trying to play acoustic electric guitar and I kept getting insane amounts of feedback. And then I realized for $7 you could buy a chunk of rubber that immediately eliminates all those problems. So if you Feedback Buster is, I think, what this is called, but it has a bunch of various names and a bunch of people make them. It is a chunk of rubber you jam in the sound hole, and that is it.
And it's off. It truly is unplugged.
Yep. It's like double the volume.
Yeah.
I've unleashed the full power of this $250 guitar. Somebody once told me the world's gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking dumb with her finger and thumb in the shape of an L. Where is that? So this is a discussion, so I get to stop even more during the songs. Why is this chord interesting? Because it's a C, but with a G in the bass, making it a second inversion. Which leads directly into the G chord that comes, and that's the only interesting chord in the whole song, and it's the reason I like it. They don't stop coming, they don't stop coming, fair to the rules, and I hit the ground running. It didn't make sense to live for fun when your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb, and there's so much to do. So So much to see, so what's wrong with taking the back streets? You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. How do you think they do the chorus? Hey now, you're an all-star, game on and go play. Can I do a play? Hey now, rock star, get the show on, get paid. Not all the glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break that mold. I lied, that F is a really interesting chord too. And all the glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break that mold.
Oh yeah, I got plenty.
Say it's a cold place. I know it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. The meteor man here begs to differ, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. Yeah, some of those notes are going to happen today. Some of those notes are not going to happen today. It is Sunday. It is Sunday, my friends. We skate. This is how we celebrate the Sabbath. The water's getting warm, so go. I'm in Texas. No one laughed. I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not mad at you. World's, you take them jokes back to California, boy. The world's on fire. How about yours? That's the way I like it. 'Cause I never, ever get bored. Will you do the hey with me? It's really gentle. Hey now, you're an all-star, but you came on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on and get paid. Not all the glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break that mold. And then we do a solo section because Fox is really good. We can do, we're in the thing, so let's give snaps for Fox.
That sounds so creepy.
It's also, it's a technique for if you want little kids to be able to do something, but not start. And also most people under 9 can't snap their fingers. So they're just like, oh, the silence is so good. That's right.
She just owned you.
As you would describe in education, she's in the 99th percentile of finger snappers for her age. She's listed as, what is it? I'm trying to remember, because like none of them on your test results mean bad. It's like good. Like what was it? Oh, it starts with a P. Who remembers
Proficient.
that word? Proficient, which means like not great. And you're like, what? Proficient, advanced, super advanced. What are we doing? You're just calling your principal like, what does proficient mean? Is that better or worse than like?
That's what they call like our levels in education in like the high schools in the UK. Like it's called like general grade, then it's higher grade, then it's advanced higher grade.
And you're what, 14 when you get to advanced higher grade? Or
well, that's more like when you're 16. That's like your 6th year in high school. I guess that's when you're like sort of 16, 17. So where would that be like for schools here?
That would be like 10th-ish grade.
That'd be junior.
Junior?
That'd be junior year of high school.
Somebody once asked, can I spare some change for gas? I need to get myself from this place.
This is so much better when you talk it.
I said that's a concept. I could use a little fuel myself. We could all use a little change, and the years start coming, and you play the right chord. You don't mess up and ruin the climax of the song. It makes sense. That's it for fun. When your brain gets smart and your head gets dumb. There's so much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back street? I've taken my opera technique going to hit notes I can't. What's wrong with taking the back street? You never know. You don't know. You never shine if you don't know. Hey, now. Don't stop your game on and go play. Hey, now. You're a rock star. Get the shame on and get paid. See, in Texas, that's what gets the response. Only shooting stars break that mold. Daddy saying bass. Like, I do Friends in Low Places at karaoke, it's always great. Because everyone likes that song, and if you can actually do the, it'll be okay, everyone will be like, hey!
Oh, yeah.
Everybody gets a good time. It's mostly disappointing if they can't hit that note. You're like, why'd you choose that song? It's the only reason you choose it.
Transpose buttons.
It's also funny that Garth Brooks is like, if you can think of one like country singer that everyone in probably the world knows, like, oh, Brooks. And then you listen to his level of accent he does, and it's pretty minimal compared to like Brooks and Dunn or who are the two? Not Crosby, Stills and Nash. The like super pop country, like thinks my tractor's sexy kind of. Who did that one? Who did that song? Oh, where's the other one?
I know the one you mean.
Honky Tonk, Badonkadonk. That's Toby Keith. That's not even the people I'm thinking of. It's like someone and someone.
Wow,
Come on, they're like. Sorry, I have to Google this now. Like,
someone and someone.
Fox, you can talk about something.
I prefer playing this though. I want to talk through this, but it doesn't kind of work like that. You know, like those voice boxes you get for guitars, but it's all wind activated. It does have like a pickup on it though, so you can like plug in like a guitar pedal to it and make all sorts of crazy noises. It's kind of cool. You know, like the big company that designed like all the organs that you hear in like pop music and like rock and stuff, like Hammond. Like same company designed this as well, which is probably why it's lasted a long time and it hasn't broken yet. So. It's called a melodica. If you type in melodica on Google, you'll see like a whole list of this. This is like a top kind of top of the range one, but you can pick them up for like $30 and they sound
I got
great.
mine for $19.
Even less now. Oh my god!
Yeah.
It's because they're so easy to make.
That one's like $400 though.
Yeah, this is like the nice one.
The Tractor song's by Kenny Chesney?
Kenny Chesney.
That's not who I'm thinking. That is not who I'm thinking of. It's someone and someone.
I mean, that does sound like two names.
How does no one here have any more of an idea than I do?
We should. If you are Austin, you get more.
I want to say Brooks and Dunn. That's
This is
not
not
it either.
Texas, this is Dallas.
It's basically Oklahoma at this point. I know all the things that
That's exactly what we say in Scotland. This is. That's what everyone says in Scotland as well. This isn't the UK. This is Scotland.
Yeah, I guess it's a little more offensive if you were to like walk around Scotland saying you're in England than me talking about Oklahoma and Texas. But that's
No more or less offensive if you're going around Montana saying, haha, I'm in Canada.
Did you guys see that chart where it was like a map of the U.S. and it was color-coded by what state hates what other state? And they're pretty spot on for most of it.
Like Florida hating itself.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah, Florida's my state. The state was Florida. I think New Jersey gets too much crap. I think Jersey's a great place.
Jersey's
Well,
okay.
maybe not a great place, but it's like it's a place.
It's okay.
You can go to Jersey.
It's a
not
place we
bad.
try to drive through very quickly to get out of it.
People gotta go to North Jersey. I think it's just because like most of my first like crew of furries I hung out with were from like Connecticut, Jersey, and Delaware. So I have good memories of the Delaware furry community.
Oh yeah, you moved out of Pennsylvania, didn't you?
Yeah, Western Pennsylvania originally, where I could drive within 6 hours like 1,500 miles. Fox, we said we were gonna tell stories about going places. How about someone like we'll take a hand. You can start us on where would you want us to start talking about doing shows? What area of that is most interesting? Do you want us to talk about like a foreign country we went to, or like a con that was interesting, or you want to hear about?
Come to Atlantic Canada.
I've been to exactly Toronto like 9 times, and that's it. I've been to Ontario only, which I know there's so much to Canada I want to see. We're trying to get up to, what was it, the one in Edmonton.
Oh yeah,
doing Mardi Gras.
Furry?
I think that is Furry, yeah. That's probably not happening this year, but I really want to go. Why else do you go to Edmonton?
How did y'all wind up going to the Memphis? Was that just...
Fox, you're the reason I ended up at MFM.
Leonato, like, is a really good friend of ours, and we have like so many people that I guess like constantly communicate with us, like in the south. So one day we just decided to do it, and it was kind of funny because the first time I ever did MFM on the road trip on the way there was the first opportunity I ever got to see a tornado. We're going down this highway, and like our side of it's quiet, and like on the left, everyone else is going. Then we get to this gas station, and then everyone's like huddled in it, and like the sirens are going off and stuff. When you hear a tornado siren for the first time, those things are terrifying.
Yeah.
They're so loud. So I was like asking what the heck's going on. Like everyone's terrified, but I'm like really happy and smiling. Like, this is like Hollywood, but real now. And there it was just big old thing sounding like a huge freight train just like tearing up a farm. Like it was pretty incredible. But we managed to get there eventually. Like it delayed us like a couple of hours or so. But that's why I'll never forget MFM, because it was my tornado coming.
I've still not seen a tornado in like real life with my eyes without a TV screen in between us. We got a lot of like almosts in Pennsylvania, but it's not exactly tornado area. But neither is Mississippi. Too many tornadoes. Like that happens there, but it's funny because method for me is still not in Tennessee.
Just stay here for like a month.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
I don't really want to be around tornadoes.
Have you ever been in an earthquake?
We had a actually, most people in this, you're not from the right side of the country. On the East Coast, we've had one in recent memory earthquake, and that was a day in Pennsylvania where everyone thought someone on a different floor had dropped something. We're all like, it's like, boom. And then you go around and ask everyone in your family, like, you check to see, did someone fall over? Did my like bed fall off a thing? And then you go on the news, like, category 3 or like, what's is that?
It's a Richter scale.
What's a Richter scale normal number?
Well, 3 is very, very, very like. It's when you get to like 5. Is when
Yeah, so this is probably like a 3.5. Just go. It's enough that you could tell it happened, because isn't it like under 2 you wouldn't even notice unless you're like perfectly still. And you're like,
We had just finished a day in Disneyland in LA, and we were going into one of the multi-story car parks, and there was like I think it was like a 3.8 or something, but it was enough to set off several car alarms all around us, and it was actually pretty like terrifying when it happened, because we thought we'd done something, because it happened the moment like he was trying to press his car keys, looking around and like they're all getting set off. And then we see in the news like a moment later, like, oh, there was just a little tremor, so it's fine.
all right. If you want to steer our topic, just raise a hand. We'll call it. There's few enough of us who can do the thing. Yeah. What's it?
I was just curious, like, how did you get your start? And like, did you just go do karaoke all the time and then just got lucky, or how did it all start?
Well, me and Fox have been taking both of us piano lessons since we were 5. For him, it like worked, and I took 22 years from 5 till third year of university. I was taking that like a piano minor, because if you're a voice major, you have to learn some kind of instrument so you figure out how to read music. And I'm just, you don't hear the 22 years of paying for lessons. coming out of me like you do Fox. But from that, you get put in performances pretty early. Like, they love, oh, this 5-year-old can kind of sort of play a song. Let's put him in front of people and have him do something. And then eventually you're like, oh, I've just been performing since I was very, very young and this doesn't feel that weird. Then both of us kind of started, you started doing in cover bands, right?
Well, the funny thing was, like, when I was like, when I was like going to school, because I was learning when I was so young, like, it was easy for me to pick up and learn stuff if I just listened to it. So I would go into school and, like, we would be in music class and kids would be asking the teacher to play this song on piano, and they couldn't do it, like, because it was like stuff that was out at the time. Everyone was like listening to the Spice Girls, so I just went on the piano and started playing "If You Wanna Be My Lover," and then half the freaking school just like turned up. It was just around the piano. It was great. That's when those lessons really paid off.
So when we found each other, I think I had just gotten out of college. I was in my first. I should say we knew of each other online because. I don't know if you still are or not, but in 2010, 9, if you, like, does everyone remember Fur Affinity?
It's still going.
Before it was replaced by Twitter, I don't know. Everyone's just on Twitter now. Like,
they had a big overhaul recently.
I know, they finally changed their UI.
And then they got DDoS for like 3 days.
Yeah, they got DDoS. Man. But on FA, there are various like moderators for every content area, like art, music. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do music on here. Who's the music moderator? And it's like Fox Amoore. I'm like, all right, what's his stuff? And I click it, and I'm like, he's not that good. I'm still in my weird like end of high school, like everything is a competition always, like type thing where I'm like, I need to feel superior to them. So we end up just. You're luckily extremely nice and open, and then if randos like me just DM you, you'll usually respond. And then we had a couple conversations. Hey, we should do vaguely. We should work on a project. And then multiple years go by. Now I'm in my first apartment that I'm paying for entirely myself. It's like mattress on the floor. Oh no, I didn't have the mattress yet.
So I had a floor.
Had a floor in Phoenix. And I got an email from Fox at like 3 in the morning, and I'm still up because I'm just like thinking about my life. So, I have the floor and a Super Nintendo because I brought that. Only the essentials. And he's like, hey, I'm doing a show in New Jersey. Another reason I like New Jersey. Doing a show in New Jersey, our singer dropped out, can you do it? And I was like, yeah, when? It's like, oh, it's this coming weekend. We've booked you a flight. And I'm like, oh God. Time for my second flight ever. Let's get back to New Jersey. We did a show with him and Matt Ebel, all three of us. Matt Ebel, like my personal musical furry hero at the time, and still now. And then that one show went really well. Then nothing kind of happened for like 8 months. Then we played at Megaplex, and then eventually through me just being at stuff with Fox, we realized, like, hey, when we do shows together, this goes pretty well. Maybe we should write some material. He heard some of my stuff he liked. I heard some of his. We covered each other's stuff, and eventually we did an album called Hashtag. And then it's been 4-ish years since we started doing things.
Seeing those like 4 years, how many miles do you think, like, travel?
Miles
I mean,
to travel?
at least from my side, like, how many miles do you think, like, I have done since then?
Like, probably, like, around, like, at least 100,000 probably. 4 years? Oh, you're talking flight miles, like, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
120,000. 1.
506,000 miles.
Oh.
We have traveled to the moon and back since we met. Is that not a Savage Garden song?
I don't know Savage Garden very well. I believe you. Let's do a song. I believe that song exists.
I'm going to send that to you.
I don't know any songs. All right, let's do another song that works well acoustically. Oh, that was about to be. That was not supposed to be that. a corner on my short commute. Face north to west in the friendly pursuit of the welcome relief of one's work being done. I find myself driving into the sun. Reaching above Foursquare on a hinge, swinging it down, try to block the orange ball of sweaty white light in my eyes. It will run, 'cause I find myself driving into the sun. Well, alright, it has to get better, at least I can squint as I tumble along. I will not be deterred, no, we've only begun, 'cause I find myself driving into the sun. It's ducks down below. I lift in my seat, urging my neck to grow, while between mirror and leather my vision near numb. Is the light green or red? All I see is the sun. Well, alright, it has to get better, at least I can squint as I tumble along. I will not be deterred, no, we've only begun, 'cause I find myself driving into the sun. Of reflective glass fall from the mirror of the truck I can't pass, in our haze to advance and our will turning numb. Trample ourselves raging against the sun. Well, alright, has to get better, at least I can squint as I tumble along. I will not be deterred, no, we've only begun, as I find myself driving into the sun. Give me alright. Alright, it has to get better, at least I can squint as I tumble along. I will not be deterred, no, we've only begun, as I find myself driving into the sun. Yeah! Okay. Yeah, what's up?
When you met?
We first met on the internet. I first met in person, I think, at...
That was FA United. Was it FA United?
No,
it wasn't. It
briefly
was Megaplex, wasn't it?
I briefly said hello to you at Anthrocon at your dealer's table in 2011.
Oh no, I wasn't at Anthrocon at that point.
Whatever AC you were at between 2010 and 14.
Must be 14 then. I'm going to be to Anthrocon.
It was very brief.
Not been that long.
Hey, there's music. See ya.
Did you leave a business card or anything? Did you give me a CD?
Look, I know how to do it. You walk up, you say hi, and then you...
Story of my life.
I don't know. Anytime whenever I try to meet anyone, that's you got to do a few testers where you go up like short interaction. Then you eventually work up to like, oh, so what's going on later? And then And I'm describing. I'm just sounds like I'm hitting on you now.
I was gonna say like.
So what are you doing after this? That's not really the topic we're on, but like, I think about, like, I'm sure everyone here has met somebody who either is just actually legit famous, so you met some celebrity, or someone who to you is as important as that. And it's weird, the person I got weirdly starstruck for, like, I feel like Tom Cruise could walk in the room right now and be like, oh, so, do you need anything? Okay. I feel like I wouldn't care that much, but certain internet celebrity, like, I'm trying to think of a good example that like makes sense now, and someone who hasn't done something horrible in the last 10 years. It's unfortunate if you watch if the angry video game nerd came in here, I would lose my mind. Like I may not know how to. I can't approach him. I'll say something horrible. I'll say something dumb. If who's it? Brad Jones, if the Cinema Snob came in. I don't even know who the Cinema Snob is. Well, some of you guys, you're all internet people, so you guys know who it is.
The angry video game nerd?
Cinema Snob, not related. He used to do where he would review like really old 70s like explicit films, but treat it like but now it's just become a snide, sarcastic guy who makes comments over funny movies.
This is the thing for our like trips and tours as well. Like whenever we're done with shows and we're just like relaxing in our room, like the only thing we ever watch seems to be like either that or wrestling.
Nonsense YouTube or wrestling.
Angry video game nerd or AEW. That's one of the two.
Every few years I just rewatch through all of AVG, and it's still like there's so much like earnest. It's so earnest, and you can just see like the fact that he was the only person doing that kind of. Welcome to the old internet panel, by the way. Next up will be Homestar Runner. We're going to talk about that for half an hour.
Who remembers YouTube when it was YouTube?
Yeah. He was like pre-YouTube, but he did the review format that like everyone does now, but so much before. Remember his first this is how I do my work, and he's like, here's my binder full of dozens and dozens of DVDs, which is what I have to save all of my stuff onto, because like cheap hard drives aren't a thing yet, because it's.
And he had an entire closet full of VHS tapes before the DVDs.
Oh yeah, I forgot you first started recording on a VHS, because you're gonna do whatever equipment you have.
And then there's the special effects.
Jeez. I have the equivalent of what a setup that would have cost like 10 grand a few years ago. Now you can get for like, if you have $1,000, like, okay, I have a green screen, a pretty okay camera, decent lighting setup, computer, like
Q lights and all sorts of things. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, just get one of those circles that you can see in the reflections of people's eyes in their videos.
It really is a good time to be a
makes you look
content
cool. Yeah, well, good and bad, because now if anyone can do it, that means anyone can do it. And instead of there being 2 people reviewing video games, there's now 2 million people. All right, Fox. So you're not from America.
I am not.
We're here to arrest you. Tell us about
Tell me about life
I'm sure
in
not
Scotland.
everyone here knows about where you're from.
Okay, yeah, so I'm from Scotland. Woo! We have a lot of good alcohol, especially the whiskey, and we have a very nice accent, apparently.
What's like a weird difference in the U.S. and Scotland that you didn't expect when you first started coming here?
Losing my accent.
You have to make him angry, then the accent comes right back. Oh no, there were a couple times where you got like 3 blue shells in a row in Mario Kart, and you're like, oh hi, this is Utter Sensor.
It's the only time it ever comes back if I'm annoyed playing Mario Kart or if I'm talking to my parents. That's when it instantly comes back. Like at one moment, if I'm talking with Uncle, I'll be talking about, let's get that toast in there or whatever. Like I can hear the twang coming out. But whenever my mom and dad are talking, although here downstairs is like, I was at the soccer game there yesterday. I was playing great. And I'm like, Dad, we don't call it soccer. So okay. We're at the football game, it was great, we were kind of doing this and that, and then, Jimmy got hammered, and then he got arrested, and he's in the jail right now. We're getting him out in the morning, though, it's fine. And then all of a sudden, I'm speaking back to them like that, and Alkaline, Xander, and Miko are just, recording it. But yeah, I'm going to go back and for 10 days pretty soon. I'm going to get to go home and see my family, and I'll have plenty of time to recharge it, so don't worry.
Also trying to plan ahead for what other song could we do in a minute here.
There's a lot of songs we didn't do it either, sure.
What's one that sounds good acoustically, you think? I can't do Hugs Are Better Than Drugs. This isn't the audience for that.
Sorry.
I like that song though. It's not ours either. A Halo Called Fred, also from New Jersey. Oh dear? Oh, you know this song? Of course you know this song. I have not played this song in 6 years. Let's see. Sublimity has a time and a place. Total bliss has a name and a face with a smile to knock you down. You make the sun shine as it winds. My heart flutters and sputters and my tongue binds. So here's my song to you, oh dear. The song I write so you can hear every single little bit of those words too great for me to say. How I love you more each and every day. This is a love song, so you know I was not the band member to write it. Total loss of control is near. I can feel my knees buckle and tremble, and soon I fear I'll lose myself in you. I can stand no more. I raise my voice through love's joy and providence. I got no choice. So here's my song to you, oh dear. Song I write so you can hear every single little bit of. Yes, these are words too great for me to say. How I love you more each and every day. I'm just gonna leave it there. There is a bridge, but it's too high. That is off of like one of the first couple Look Left albums. So Look Left was a group. Oh yeah, before I met Fox, I was doing a band called Look Left, where I wanted to do music, and I started writing and trying to learn all the instruments I could. So I already kind of knew bass, was teaching myself guitar, sort of knew how to songwriting, and like, fake it till you make it. Let's try to write songs. And I recruited a bunch of friends that I had in college at the time, like all four of my college friends, like, hey, can you play any instruments? Like, no. It's like, I'm gonna teach you bass, okay? Well, Shia, who here knows the streamer Shiakoft? 1, 2, all right. Like, there's just so many people now, like, no one knows, like, everyone knows one of them, but it's hard to get a room full of internet people who know the same other internet people, unless you know something as ubiquitous as, like, APG. So, he's like a full-time streamer guy. Like, he's like, partner, there's a couple hundred people watching him, like, at all times, which freaks me out. How can you stand having 200 people watching video games at the same time? But he was my bassist for a while. He already kind of knew bass, and then essentially we were a reason for him to continue learning bass. I got a guy named Andrew Kotz who plays electric guitar really well, but does it like fingerstyle, which no one does. Fingerstyle electric, not no one, but very few people, and he just like, I refuse to use a pick. Which means recording him was horrible because it would be like, loud note, quiet note, really loud chord, really quiet chord. I'm like, I get to go fix all these individually. We're all figuring it out as we go. By the time we got through 4 albums, we kind of knew what the heck we were doing. That song was written by our friend Matt Royek, who, he was really the other guy who was very interested in writing songs. At least lyrics, and we kind of like shot together. Because he had a very good romantic relationship going during our band. I did not. Well, I kind of did. I don't want to be mean to the people I was dating at the time. I was probably. It wasn't them. It was me. Truthfully. Want to try like another really old?
Yeah, I'm actually enjoying this. Like, I like listening to your old stuff.
This is okay. Let's do one more love song. This has been requested actually by a couple people. They're like, why don't you ever do this song? It's like, well, it just hasn't occurred to me before. Oh crap!
Is it not good on there?
Is it not? Why is it not in here? All right, well, okay, we're gonna do a different song.
So that's why you haven't done it.
Well, now I'm like, is it, because the song is called Loving You, and I'm like, did I not call it that? Is it like if I'm not, or is it like I'm loving you? What did I put it under? I probably just didn't, it fell off of my app here. Nope. Hey, I can do this song, and half of you will leave. I don't care, I like it. You know, look, I promised to only do one song about a Democratic candidate. That is true. I will not do. I'm not following this up with my Kamala Harris song, which does not exist. Oh, what if I had that much free time? I'm like, you know what? There's 45 candidates. I'm gonna write a song about every single one. You get to half of them, it's just like, I got nothing. Next. So 3 songs by 5 semitones. This is the actual key. Okay. It's really an F.
I know.
So here we go. I'm mostly doing this because I've never performed this live and I want to. Grew up in the 1940s. It also has a really nice high note that I'm gonna mess up. Grew up in the 1940s. The son of Polish immigrants, doing everything they could to make a dime. When you're living with no money, it changes how you think. See the dream that we're all sold might be alive. We all deserve a classroom and a proper education. He marched to give those rights to black folks too. In the streets of old Chicago, here he got dragged off of the line, trying to get the poorest kids into a school. I can't name a change that's helped me lately. Working hard a while, the boss keeps all the gains. So we're done with our resistance, and we want our revolution. And we're sending Bernie Sanders all the way. You're all like, who's it gonna be? Is this a Tom Stayer song? It's like, surprise.
I feel like we need a campfire here.
I like to think I can name more of the past candidates than most people because I've been watching this nonsense for like 3 years. Who are the Jebs? I can't remember. Jeb, a Jeb is my code word for when someone is just kind of like a bland silhouette person who is there for the race, but you keep forgetting their name, and then like there's 2 or 3 of them like, oh, I thought that was that guy. Oh, that's that guy. Okay. Start blending together. And there were at least 14 Jibs at one point in this election. Bennett, he was one. That's a Jib. Yeah, what was his first name? Anybody? Michael Bennett. There we go. Poor Mike Bennett. I'm sure he's a great guy. It's just a very boring campaign.
Meanwhile, in Scotland, we have a population of 12, so we have like 2 people running.
Yeah, you're like, who's gonna run? And you're like, oh,
or good. Like, there's no in between.
Who do we want to run Scotland? You just look around there and go, how about Billy? It's like everybody is like, yeah, all right.
Oh, Joey over there has been itching for a shot as well. You can.
All right, Katie's coming up next.
All right.
Oh wait, who's your current one?
Nicholas Sturgeon.
So I hear that. I hear
Sturge.
Nicholas Sturgeon.
Nicola.
It is Nicola. Yes.
Nicola.
Scotland is run by a lady who's in the SNP, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you guys are SNP road. It's weird because when you look at the maps for any election in the UK, it's like England and Ireland do whatever, and then Scotland, solid opposite of whatever England has been doing. The whole map is the same color every county, and they're down there in Westminster like, I don't know, I think the Scottish will be all right. We beat them once more, but wait.
I think Scottish are going to be all right. Have you ever noticed in like Lord of the Rings, all the bad guys have like the English accent, like all the orcs are like English. I'm going to stick you with this. They all sound like they're from London and they're going to rob you or something.
Song's not done. Now the Dow's at 50 but we can't afford our dentist. When the 1%ers boom, we have to bust. As if it's some consolation, they remind us that we win. But they struggle when you ask, okay, at what? Our kids eat in the hallway, 'cause they have no cafeteria. Proposition failed, the money, it was gone. Right now the government's priorities seem to dip towards endless wars, and the dollars they produce for Raytheon. I can't name a change that's helped me lately. Working harder while the boss keeps all the gains. So we're done with the resistance, and we want our revolution. And we're sending Bernie Sanders all the way. And we're sending Bernie Sanders all the way. You're allowed to clap without endorsing Bernie Sanders. It just means you like my song. Okay, we got about, 10 minutes. It's pretty much the end of it. So
I guess we go
blast lightning round questions. Just raise a hand. We'll call on as many as we can. Answer. If we do short answers, that's fine. So I'll do a bunch. Hey.
Why the pluralization of your names?
Oh, foxes, and it's funny because I get called Peppers all the time.
I get called foxes as well.
I'm not totally sure why. I guess Fox and Pepper sounds like
it was like
Foxes and Peppers sounds like a group.
Yeah, it was like every other name that we came up with. It was just involving alcohol and one room party, and then someone screamed, "Ah, it's Foxes and Peppers," and I think that was it.
Fox and
I don't even remember.
Sounds like an English pub.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
The Fox and the Pepper.
Ooh, that could be a career I could pursue.
We're just gonna
just own my own pub.
We're gonna drop out and just start a brewery like everyone else.
Yeah.
And then I do not complain.
And if I have my own pub, I'll always get booked because I'll just book myself to do a show in my own pub.
What if you go to ask to play and they're like, "Sorry, we're full. Can't have you on set."
Yeah.
You're like, "What? Me? I won't book." Okay.
Seize him.
Lightning round. We're sticking to that. Blue
How did
shirt.
you find the fandom?
Oh, I found it through a friend in choir who told me about it. I already knew about the art because I just like was on the internet. I'm like, animal people. I like cartoons. More animal people. Hooray! How about you?
Remember the days of the GameCube?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that very special game that Star Fox released called Star Fox Adventures?
The game's not good. Stop lying to yourselves. Go play it now. Go play it now.
No.
As soon as you get to like, let's drag around this Triceratops for the rest of the game, you're like, yeah, this is a good game. I forgot.
For me, essentially, it was looking up artwork, and I don't think it was Google at the time. It was either Alta Vista or Ask Jeeves or something like that, that era. And that's when I started finding some like artwork on like sites like VCL, like Yerf, like way going back in the days. Like I'm sure some people here will remember Yerf and VCL very much. Like those were the good old days, sonny.
Lightning round. Next question. Reg Coat.
Are you tired of that one song yet?
No, I
I am.
have a great time playing it. I played it last night. I'm like, nope, does not hurt me yet. I don't hate it. It's fine. The only fact I know about Barry Manilow is that he thinks his fans are annoying because they request a certain, like, he doesn't want to keep playing his hits, basically. Like, big musicians tend to go one way or the other. Stevie Wonder, opposite. He's like, I will play Superstition until I die. I love that song. People want to hear it. I'm here to play the hits. That's what I'm all about. And then other musicians are like, that one song. Like, Radiohead will not play Creep. They won't do it. They bring on other bands to play it for them. The opening act, they'll come out and they will stand there while the opening act plays Creep. They're like, okay, blah, 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 thank you very much, this is that big, goodbye, they're out. Now our show.
It's like that one song that made your career, that song that you did not want to make your career.
I'm fine with that one personally, whatever.
Actually, I kind of like it, like the way we keep on doing it, because every time we do the song, we always do something slightly different with it. Like, we muck around with styles, like we change keys, or we just go into like completely different songs midway entirely, or just start like another song about horses, like the My Lovely Horse from Father Ted. Oh, we could finish off with that.
People probably will. Totally clean song, by the way. It is My Lovely Horse. It's about a lovely horse.
It's the prologue to the other song.
Lightning round. Next question. Yeah.
What was it like traveling around the world? What made you do it?
We pretty much, any con that, again, Coyote's known for their honesty, full disclosure, transparency, all the things I talk about. Essentially, any con that can afford to get us there travel-wise, and a hotel, we will go to. That's also how we ended up at Method. Method, this tiny, tiny con with like 200 or something. Was it 200?
No, that's more than that.
That's more.
It's like five, six.
It's like 2 to 4.
Yeah, it's like just under the 500 mark. Yeah, they got money together. Like, we will fly all the way from Phoenix out to this really small convention, and you go, and it's an awesome time. Yeah. Or if it's a con that is large enough, like AC, that you know you're going to make your ticket back, basically. Because, like, the profit margins are not huge. But we got super lucky in that foreign conventions were interested in having us over. Like, we made friends in Singapore, and then, like, we're doing a show. Their con had, like, the same thing, like 200 people, very small con. It's a very small country. And they're like, well, our priority with our budget is to bring over this concert. And it's as mind-blowing to me as probably as anyone else that anyone wants to do that they value what we do enough to bring us over to a show. By the way, if you ever want to book us for a show, that is the only criteria. And it can't be like, you can't book us for like a rally that I don't agree with. It can't just be anything, but...
Bowl of brown M&Ms.
no brown
green M&Ms, I can't remember.
And we've just lucked into show after show after show, and that's how a career happens, I guess. And one day this luck will run out. But not today, hopefully.
Not today.
Today is not that day.
The jet lag will forever continue.
Yeah, right. By the way, if you guys are looking for a random country to vacation in, like an exotic place to go, don't go to Europe, it's too expensive. Go to Singapore, or Malaysia is even cheaper. It's just a little less easy to get around because it's bigger. Singapore, there are so many furries that are willing to, like, they'll take off work, get you from the airport, walk you around. Oh, here's your hotel. Oh, do you know where you're staying? Cool, I've looked up several hotels near the location you want. Like, it's been a travel service. Like, they're the nicest people. Just show up. Just say, hi, I'm an American furry. I'm going to be in Singapore for a week. And they will be like, cool. So he's going to follow you around on this day and make sure you were going. This guy's going to, like, that happened to us. And that's before they had any idea who I was. I showed up on a whim because another trip fell through. And I'm like, you know what? Thanksgiving is going to happen in Singapore. Saved up money for this. Also, it's much cheaper to fly across the Pacific Ocean, especially from here, than the Atlantic. It's like $1,500 to get to the UK for me, or $1,000 to get to like Japan.
Which is so surprising because when you're flying to Europe, it's so much closer.
Yeah, it's like 5 hours. You're there.
Like we have done flights that went to Singapore. I think was it 16?
16 booked.
Yeah,
it only took 14, but it's booked for 16.
Yeah.
It's fine because you get food the whole time. And infinite beer is free on international flights. Does anyone know that?
No.
If you do a cross-ocean flight, infinite free beer. On almost all airlines. Not every single one, but everyone I've ever done.
And because of all the travel and miles and like status that we built up, like quite often we'll get upgraded. And there was that.
Not on trans-Pacific flights. That was through your superpowers and the magic of another couple $100.
Well, yeah. But normally you would pay so much more for that.
Oh yeah, first class flight to Singapore is 16 hours, like $6,500, I think.
Minimum. Like minimum.
Yeah. And if you have the money, I'm sure it's worth it, but not for us. All right, sorry, lightning round. I got too distracted with that one. Yeah.
Can y'all play any other instruments, like any wind instruments?
My instruments are, I can play every band instrument up to a 5th grade level because I went to school for music education, and they teach you that. Piano, guitar, bass, drum set, mandolin. Just learn mandolin. What about you?
Anything that has the piano keys on it, I can basically play. I can do a little bit of vocal stuff. Obviously, Pepper does vocal stuff as well. I can do a little bit of stuff on like penny whistle. Like as long as the flute's not complicated, like the traditional classical flutes, then I can
like
work.
A recorder.
Yeah, I can work my way around those pretty well. I can play guitar. Like I know like a decent amount of chords, and if I practice enough, I can learn solos and stuff on it too. But most of my life, I've put probably about 95% of focus onto piano. No, I wish I could though. Like I really wish I could. But that's actually it's pretty difficult. Like you gotta have the right set of lungs. Like it's pretty challenging.
You have to feel it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like making bagpipe sound. There's like unwritten like flips and stuff you put in.
And you better have nice neighbors.
Yeah. You can get your practice key.
It's the same if you're a drummer as well. I mean, you can get like practice bagpipes. Or drummer.
The grace note instrument. All right, so I think we're gonna play "Lovely Horse" and get out of here. Background for this song, which will be our final thing for the panel. There is was a television program in the UK called Father Ted. Anyone heard of that? Like, do an indicate. Oh, a couple of you guys. All right. Wow. All right. Maybe it's because you're like, am I too young? It came out in the 90s. So there's also a thing called the Eurovision Song Contest. There was an episode of Father Ted making where they enter the Eurovision Song Contest, and the way that works is like every country does their own little mini contest, and they send that winner to the big one. And it was a song for Ireland, and they entered to be just as a rivalry thing because this one guy, Father Ted, he is a priest. Everyone in the show is a priest. Everyone in the show is a priest because it's Ireland. Get it? Ha ha! They're all Catholic.
And the thing is, they have like themed priests as well. You have the dancing priest.
At one point, they have the over 75 indoor 5-a-side soccer tournament. Old dudes just like.
He sent the keeper the wrong way.
Shuffling. So they enter the song contest and they realize they can't write songs because they're bad at it, comedy, and then they decide to rip off some other recording of this is a song for Sweden 1981.
It was Denmark.
Song for Denmark, yeah. Like no one knows the song. Like he assures them it's cool. We can rip it off. No one will know. And it ends up being they hear it playing in the elevator. And they're like, oh no, this song is much more popular than we realized. And havoc ensues. But this is the rip-off song they did called "My Lovely Horse." Well, hold up. We can do their original version. My lovely horse running through a field. They're going with your fetlocks blowing in the wind. I want to shower you with sugar lumps and ride you over fences. Polish your hooves every single day and take you to the horse dentist. My lovely horse, you're a pony no more. You're a pony no. Oh wait, I can get this. More. That's exactly how they do it. And then when you hear the original, the nice version, they ripped off a song and turned it into My lovely, lovely, lovely horse. My lovely horse. My lovely running through the fields. Where are you going with your fetlocks blowing in the wind? I wanna shower you with sugar lumps and ride you over fences. Polish your hooves every single day and take you to the horse dentist. Lovely horse, my lovely horse, my lovely horse. You're a pony no more, running around with a man on your back. Like a train in the night, yeah, like a train in the night. the show that ends with.
That's the best we've ever done.
That breakdown at the end is because it's a dream sequence, and then that's when like it turns to nightmare. Like right at the end, it's just like what's happening? It just gets loud, and there's a screaming fake saxophone.
Yeah, but
and he wakes up.
Picture of a horse.
We gotta lose that sax solo.
Yeah, they both had the exact same dream.
Same dream.
They had a shared dream.
At the same time.
Yes, if you Google Father Ted, it is a very good sitcom. Check
Father
it out.
Ted Eurovision Song Contest, or just Father Ted My Lovely Horse, or probably just My Lovely Horse. What are the top Google results for My Lovely Horse? That's the end of our panel, though. We're a couple minutes over time. Thank you so much for coming out. We are on our way to our dealer's table if you want to buy songs. That is in front of the dealer's room. It's not actually in.
I'm going to be recording.
Fox is doing something.